What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch.
I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to be looking at UFC Fight Night, Ortega versus Rodriguez. We're going to be looking at the co-main event, the Karate Hottie Michelle Waterson versus Amanda Lemos. But before we start, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out. And yeah, let's get right into the fights. What we got, Jeff?
Okay, we got the Karate Hottie Michelle Waterson. She's currently ranked number 10. She's 18-9, 36 years old. She's 5'3", and 62-inch reach. She's coming off a loss against Marina Rodriguez and a win against Angela Hill. And she's going up against Amanda Lemos, currently ranked number 11. Her record is 11 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. She is 35 years old. She's 5'4" with a 65-inch reach. She's coming off a loss against Jessica Andrade and a win against Angela Hill. What you think?
Yeah, I like this matchup. We have Amanda Lemos, who's coming off that loss, to Jessica Andrade. She lost by submission, and that I thought was her biggest test. And the fact that she failed it, I don't knock her too much for it, considering Jessica Andrade is one of the best, flyweights to ever do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A former champion as well. Michelle Waterson, she's a veteran of the game. She's been in the UFC for a while now. She lost another surging prospect in Marina Rodriguez. Can't really knock her for that. But this matchup is pretty interesting because we know how Michelle Waterson likes to fight. She likes to keep distance. She kind of has almost like a karate mixed with boxing stance. She likes to bounce, stay light on her feet. She's a southpaw, and distance is her thing, right? She's only 5'3", and she's at a 3-inch reach disadvantage, but she manages to maintain distance with her kicks. Her side kick specifically is what she uses to kind of keep her opponent at range, to not let her get closer. And but the biggest thing I've seen, I think, she hasn't really evolved much, I think. That's not a knock to her. Obviously, life moves on. She's getting older. She has probably more important things like her family and stuff. Yeah. But her style has kind of stagnated, I think. I think she can no longer win fights the way she did before. I think these much higher level opponents are starting to figure out. And obviously, that karate distance fighting at range is a little difficult to deal with. That we saw with Marina Rodriguez, but she was able to kind of figure it out and eventually get her own game going. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen similar here. I think Amanda Lemos, the biggest thing she can bring is her pressure. Yeah. I think Michelle Waterson loves fighting at range, but when it starts to close in on her, she doesn't do as well, once that distance is closed and the pressure is on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Michelle Waterson, I think one of her, besides the pressure, I think one of her biggest problems is volume. I feel like she doesn't... Yeah, I think one of her biggest problems is volume. I don't think she has enough output to win the match like the way she does, like with her style, where she really likes to keep the distance and stay out of range. And I think that's part of the reason why these newer fighters are better than these old school fighters, because they bring a different aspect to the game, and they evolve as, with every match. They seem to get better. They seem to improve. Not all of them, but most of them do. And I think Amanda Lemos, I think she does have to bring the pressure. I think she has to close the distance. I do think she has the power advantage, but I don't think she's gonna get a knockout though. I think two things are gonna happen. I think Amanda Lemos is either gonna close the distance successfully, or she's gonna struggle with the range and lose due to the kicks. Right. I think that's. I don't know. If I had to say, I think Amanda Lemos, I think she drowns Michelle Waterson with the pressure. So I think Amanda Lemos wins by decision. What do you think?
No, yeah, I agree. I think Lemos by decision. I think she is going to be able to close the distance. And obviously her having the power advantage. She hits not just harder than Michelle Waterson. She hits hard just in general. So I think she's going to have trouble with that. I think it's going to make Michelle Waterson even more hesitant to come into range. And it'll only allow Lemos to kind of walk her down a lot more. So I see Lemos winning by decision. She is the favorite, minus 315. That's actually pretty big. I thought Michelle Waterson would get, better odds than that, considering the way she fights, at range, at distance. And, Lemos is kind of always plodding forward. And those fighters tend to be the ones you can keep at range. But I think we're really going to find out what Amanda Lemos is about. If she can't beat Michelle Waterson here, I have big doubts on where she kind of ranks and if she'll ever get back. Oh, she'll ever get a title shot, But yeah, we both agree that Lemos wins by decision. We just both think that she'll be able to close the distance on Michelle Waterson. We think she's just going to apply a lot of pressure that Michelle Waterson won't be able to keep her off of her and eventually land the bigger, better shots, possibly the big shot and knock her out. But we doubt that. We think it's just going to result in her winning by decision. But let us know down below what you think. Do you think Michelle Waterson gets it done? Do you think we're underestimating her? Or do you think Amanda Lemos' pressure and power will be too much? Let us know. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Check out our other videos. We're actually doing every other fight on this same card, including the main event. So go ahead and check that out. And, yeah, we'll see you next week for Blaze versus Aspinall. It's going to be another great fight. And, yeah, we'll see you then.
Yep. See ya.